Hello everybody, it's Raidhyn and welcome back to another episode of Raidhyn's Roguelike Roulettes. Today we are going to be playing Darkest Dungeon, which is a very awesome and interesting game that has still been being worked on. So you can see I've played this a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and start from the beginning. We're going to go Raidhyn's Roguelike Roulette file. Yeah, so for those of you... Oh, come on now. Alright, we're going to do the short version, RRR, and we'll go ahead and start over here. So for those of you who have never heard of this before, this is basically a side-scrolling dungeon roguelike RPG-esque thing with character management, psychosis, adrenaline, buffs, random items,
You will arrive along the old road.
And this story.
It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside,
I like that.
leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors.
Oh, that's only tiny bit
Steel
creepy.
yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so much like the intro implied, you end up having to deal with kind of bravery versus madness in your characters. This is the way that the game looks. We get some map navigation, which is pretty basic. We just click on the room that we want to go to, and then we'll be off on our way.
Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
So you can move using the mouse click, or you can move around, and then you get these random encounters. So basically, within your party, you have a big number of skills. So you can see these little red blips kind of show you the position for the other guys. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward like that. The thing that makes this game really difficult is when it comes to things like character management, managing your party's downtime once you get into town, in addition to trying to keep everybody sane enough so that you can keep crawling the dungeon without... Oh boy. Do we have any inventory at this point? No, we don't. Okay, so he's going to be bleeding for a little while. So we can take a look at this tent. The brigands left valuables.
Leave nothing unchecked.
Excellent.
There is much to be found in forgotten places.
And then we can go forward, and this is just like the intro little starter dungeon.
Send these vermin a message.
You can see the encounters. We've got this guy back here who's ranged, who's going to be doing a lot of damage, and then this big tanky bruiser. So what we want to do is figure out how to take out this ranked guy first. So if we look at Dismas, our highwayman, we can see that these little red blips show the positions. So right now the big guy is in position 1 and 2. The first two blips, we can only attack him with this. We can't actually target this guy with this ability. So what we want to do is we want a pistol shot. And hopefully we can hit this guy, which is good. He didn't get accuracy down, but that's okay. And then we can't actually reach the back line with our Crusader, who's kind of like a tanky kind of fella. So instead we're going to try to stun this front guy. And we did get the stun, which is awesome. So you see those little white blips that just appeared over our party. Those are basically... oh, sweet, crit shot. That's awesome. Holy crap, that was a mega bucket ton of damage. Alright, let's see what we can do. 15 plus damage versus Holy. We can't stun twice in a row, or at least you weren't able to in the past. So we'll see if maybe we can't take this guy out. Open vein, damage mod, -15. Okay, so we'll go like this here, and hopefully our Crusader will be able to take him out on the next turn. If he does not die, 8. Oh, he just manages to resist. Let's see if this will take him out. It does! Victory is ours. And that's excellent. We got all this great stuff. which we will take all of that. We've completed our quest. And let's continue adventuring for now because we didn't go in here. It's trapped. Hopefully it doesn't kill us. We just got the blight. Now we can leave. All right, and then here at the end, basically it sums up all of your treasure. And in this screen, it shows you what the psychological impacts of your adventure were on everybody. So in this case, this is really good. We've got plus 15% damage in ruins, which is awesome. And we can go back to town. So the town is kind of your hub, your base, where you can do all manner of things.
This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now.
You're absolutely right. To them. Oh, man. So this has actually been kind of updated a little bit since I last played, but kind of the most important things are right over here. That's Stagecoach. We can recruit more heroes. I feel like I'm constantly talking over this narrator, which I probably am, and it's kind of annoying, but whatever. So here is where you can recruit more people. It doesn't cost anything to recruit. You're only given a limited amount of time or a limited selection on who to recruit. And they actually say that you should prioritize the number of available heroes and the size of roster as early on as possible. We do have the stuff needed to do this, so we're gonna go ahead and do that because we can, so that next time everything's good to go. Ancestors' Memory is this one. It looks like we can actually play some stuff now that the game's been updated with cinematics and some nice things like that. And in the graveyard, we can view all of the heroes that die.
Covered in the poisoned earth.
Covered in the poisoned earth.
Oblivion.
Waiting for merciful oblivion. Okay. And then the rest of this stuff we all get to unlock as we go along. So, we can't really unlock anything else, so we are going to go ahead and... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Let's go over here. We do have this plus 10% stun resist, -2 dodge. So, Reynald, he's got a pretty crappy dodge... statistic to begin with. Oh, she's got a 0, incredibly. And Vestal is kind of the healer. So we're going to give this to her just so that she doesn't get stunned up. I think that makes sense. I could be completely off base. If you guys are more experienced in this game, please let me know. But what's cool about this is you can see here the quirks. So Reynald, for example, he's got plus 10% damage if our torch is above 75, which I'll explain when we get back in. And the Ruins Tactician we picked up. And then on the not so good time, in town will only play for stress relief, and Kleptomaniac, he's prone to stealing stuff instead of giving it out to the rest of the crew, which means that we're not going to have him open things because he might end up stealing things out of chests. We can see that everybody kind of has these different pluses and minuses, and eventually you can do different things to affect this. And all of this character management is part of what makes this game is so complex and just really fascinating to play because it just adds so much nonsense to your adventure through these dungeons, and it's part of what's really interesting. So we are going to go ahead and just embark and get rolling with this so you guys can see what a normal adventure looks like. It should be pretty easy because we're just starting off. We only have access to the ruins right now, so we're going to build our party. And when you build out the party, they kind of have different preferred slots based on their combat skills. So you can see like this highlight here kind of shows you the preferred position. Same things with Dismas here. We can see he likes being in the 2 or 3 slot. Solars likes being at 4 the rear, so we're gonna put Solars in the middle. And here we go. I guess we're called the usual suspects, and we're gonna go ahead and get started in just a minute after I see what these buttons do, because these are kind of interesting. Some of this stuff's new, so it looks like all the Cove and the Darkest Dungeon regions are still being worked on. This game is in early access. I think it went early access around March or so.
In blood.
Alright, so this is how this works. We can basically spend our gold on provisions, and there's a couple that you usually want to take. Food is good. We want to take a couple of torches. And some of these things are more useful in certain parts, like certain things are better in ruins, certain things are better in other places. We're going to go ahead and take 8 food, a shovel, bandage, and we'll take 4 torches. I think this is pretty pretty decent of a setup for right now. Again, I'm not really sure about how much they've rebalanced since I last played it, but between the artwork and how gothic this game is, and just how
The fiends must be driven back.
interesting all of this is, it's such a cool game. Like, it really is. Alright, so we have to complete 100% of room battles, which means we basically have to explore everywhere. Here's a good reason for why we brought our shovel. So when we come up here, we can decide to use the shovel.
Bent on preventing passage.
And then this up here is what I was talking about. This light level is part of what affects not only the sanity of the current party, but also how difficult the encounters are. So you can see plus stress, plus hero surprised, plus scouting, plus monster surprise. So you can use torches to regenerate that, but the darkness level has an effect on what type of enemies you're going to encounter. So let's see if we can't handle this. What we want to do again is kind of get to this back line. So we're going to come over here and try to take down this goblet guy as quickly as possible, because he can end up doing a whole lot of damage to us. This is going to stun the back line, so we're going to try to do that. And we managed to land stuns on both of them, which is good. Alright. And then over here, we can do... This is basically a ranged attack that will also heal the Vestal, or we can use the Divine Grace to heal the entire party. Or to heal who we choose in the party. She doesn't have the all-party heal one. And then the other thing I like about the Crusader against these undeads is he has a Zealous Accusation, which will hit both the front, like the front guy and the second guy. Now, this is a new addition since I played the last time. Basically, now there's this corpse here that you also have to attack in order for the line to move forward, which is kind of annoying because it used to be that if you killed somebody in the front, the rest of the line would shift forward, but it looks like they balanced that to be a lot more difficult than previously, because now it's more difficult to get at these guys in the back, which is not very cool. So like that ability, for example, that he just hit us with, the tentacle gross looking thing, moved Renauld way to the back, and we can see that now that he's in this position, he can't even use a single number of his abilities. So kind of managing the position or manipulating the position of the other team is a pretty critical part of gameplay, and just kind of understanding how to get through a lot of these encounters where it's often pretty difficult to deal with enemies in the front and the back and the rest of it. So hopefully all of this is making sense. I realize I went into a whole bunch of technical details in this game, but I realized that, you know, part of why I did that was just simply because of the fact that it's kind of difficult to get a sense of what's going on when you first see the game. I wonder if he got blinded because he's standing between a whole bunch of corpses. That would be a really interesting way to balance this. Alright, let's heal up our party a little bit. We can see these blips down here, these little white boxes, are actually, those are the stress levels of the party. Oh, probably threw a plague grenade, that's what's going on over there. Anyway, so... but the reason I was getting all technical with a lot of this stuff is just because, like, I think this game is really cool, but it's really easy to miss a lot of the nuance on how the game works if you're just playing, if you're just observing it for the first time. And it's funny because the first time I played this game, it was actually on stream. I was like, hey guys, we're gonna play this, you know, we're gonna check this out. I've really been wanting to see how this game plays and everything, and this is what we're gonna do. And yeah, so the first time I played this game, we ended up being on stream with it for like 5 or 6 hours while I figured everything out, and a whole bunch of people gave me some advice. Since then, I've played it kind of off and on. I haven't played it in the last couple of months just because I've been tied up with Brawlhalla. But it is certainly a game that I would love to spend more time on because it just seems so difficult and so interesting. And just it's just gorgeous to look at. It just is. All right, so we have to eat some food. So you get that notification every so often after you've been in the dungeon for a bit, and oh crap, we accidentally walked in a trap.
By foul
But
invention.
he's not bleeding, which is really good. Let's try to see if we can't continue making it through here. Alright, so we actually were able to scout the next area, which means we know that there's some books. Reading a few pages has a lasting effect. Alright, so we got a new thing. We got Night Owl, which is +2 speed if torch is below 25. There's a trap up ahead somewhere. Or just some monsters. Okay. So, alright, let's do same type of thing as we did before. Let's try to stun the guy in the back. And we did. Let's go ahead and grape shot all of these guys. That should work. Zealous accusation, killing people with paper is always good. We'll heal up our highwayman. I've realized now that we probably should have renamed all of these glorious characters we have, but we did not. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do, you know? Next time I get a game where we have changeable names on people, I'll make sure that we actually take advantage of that. All right, let's grape shot again. Which is nice. It's interesting, it seems like maybe they've adjusted the amount of miss chances, because last I played it was really easy to miss shots.
This expedition at
All
least
right,
promises
so here we go.
success.
We have to dig through this. It's gonna take a lot of effort. And yeah, everybody does not like having to do that. Not to mention the torch got really low, so let's bump that up. I really want to try to complete this quest on the first go. Sometimes you can't do it on your first attempt. You kind of gotta like level up some, and it can be a little challenging. All right, so we have another room. This could be the last room battle. Oh, crit, that is not good. Everybody is really upset about that. All right, where is our stun? Blinding gas, that's what we want. Throw that down on the back line. That looks good. It's gonna go bump of the night. Nice dodge, highwayman. Nice dodge. Oh, and we even got a dodge off of our plague doctor. That is good. That is super good. We'll soften him up a little bit. Let's heal up the witch doctor so that he doesn't die immediately. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right, knocked out the first guy. That's good. Let's see, can we stun twice in a row? Wait, that's the plague grenade. We want the stun. Nope, we gotta resist. Guy in the back is still stunned, which is good, but not the best. All right, so this should give us a damage estimate. Here, damage 4 to 9, 3 to 8. We can take out this guy. Let's do that. All right, he's feeling good about that, I guess. All right, witch doctor gets critted.
Mortality clarified in a
All right,
single
so this is
strike.
an interesting thing. So at this point, he is at death's door. Well, in the state, they suffer stat penalties, plus any further damage has a chance to kill them. So, like, you can't get insta-killed in this the way you can in many other games. Like, if you have the opportunity to heal, you can heal, and that's good. But it also means that we're going to have to be doing some more work to be able to make this happen. Now, here's the cool thing about these guys shifting to the front line. Now that they're up here, they have to use their weaker abilities, because their strongest abilities are the ones where, well, when they're in position 3 and 4. So the tactic of focusing on those front lines actually seems to work pretty good, which is kind of cool. All right, so we use this. Your damage 1 to 2. Your damage 4 to 7, and we miss, of course, which we don't really want. In case you're missing it, I'm reading the hero damage off of this screen down here, so we can see as we hover over on the bottom right, it's giving us all this cool information. Wow, it's actually even giving us the skill names of the monsters, which is kind of neat. There we go. Raidhyn, our crusader, is being super badass, as per usual, killing people with holy paper. One of my favorite things to see is when people use literacy to just totally wreck monsters.
A trifling victory.
Oh, and see, exactly what I was talking about, because that was all the room battles. We did clear the adventures. So since our guys are kind of weak, I'm thinking, I don't know, should we risk doing one more room, or should we go back? Well, let's just go back to the hamlet. You know, we can call the first one a success.
Return to rest.
And when we get back,
To their abyss.
We can see we got quest rewards, we picked up some treasure, we collected all these heirlooms, which are going to let us upgrade the town, which is really cool. And if we click through here, we can see we got a couple of bonuses again. We did get a couple of downsides, you know, from all that stress that we endured, but this is all pretty cool. Wasting sickness, negative 50% disease resist. That doesn't look good. I wonder why that's a different color. Huh. It's kind of interesting. I should probably read up a little bit more about this game.
Caused this great
Permanent
foulness,
negative
and
quirks.
it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Oh, interesting. All right, so here's kind of the interesting thing. So eventually in the sanitarium, which is this building here, which we can unlock, we'll be able to spend gold to get rid of those negative effects, which is kind of cool. If we come back to the tavern,
Fresh kegs,
or not the
cards,
tavern,
and curtained rooms
I wanted to go to the
promise
stagecoach.
solace to the
So
weary
here we
and
can,
broken
you know, record
alike.
up some more people, which is cool. I think Houndmaster is completely new, because I don't think this guy existed before. That's really cool. Nice. This guy seems really awesome. That is super exciting. All right, and then what else can we unlock? Abby for the stress
The
relief.
cobwebs have been dusted, the pews
So for
set
instance,
straight.
the stress relief thing, basically
Abby
Solar's here,
calls to
like
the
if he
faithful.
maxes out, what happens is he has this moment of truth where he's got to decide if he's going to go mental or if he's going to become incredibly brave and rise up to the challenge. It's really risky, so some people like to play where they force it. But just to show you guys an example, the idea is that if you have him rest here and you spend some money, and let him sit out an adventure, when you come back to him, he's gonna be completely healed of stress, which is pretty cool. All right, well, that's going to be it for now, guys, as we have already hit the 20-minute mark. However, this game is super fun, and I would totally be interested in doing a long time playthrough of this, just because I'm really interested in getting through all the content. Now, the game is still in early access, and it is not finished yet, so there's always the logic that says, hey, we can just hang out and chill and relax until the game is finished. But if you guys like dungeon crawlers, if you like old school RPGs, if you like dark and twisted gothic horror stuff like this, definitely check this game out. It is super fun. It's really rewarding when you get through a whole bunch of things, and there are some really awesome moments in it. So anyway, for now, thanks a bunch everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.